dear students, I hope you all are enjoying your quarantine along with your online classes. Myself Rukan Nalwala, and today I am going to share with you some information regarding the different types of fibers and fabrics. Now, have you ever visited a cloth shop or a tailor shop? If you have, you might have noticed that there are various materials present in the shop. You might find woolen materials like woolen shawls or woolen sweaters. For silk material, you may find there are silk saris or silk dupattas. For cotton material, you may find cotton shirts or cotton pants and various other materials. Now for an activity, what we will do, we will take a rough cloth and we will pull out a thread from the rough cloth. When we are pulling out the thread, we may notice that there are 2 to 3 more threads coming out. Why does this happen? Because the fabric or the cloth is made up of arrangement of threads, and if we pull out the first thread, then the other threads may also come out. Now what is this thread? The thread's structure are also known as fibers. Fiber is a thin thread of a natural or artificial substance, especially one that is used to make cloth or rope. When we notice a cloth very finely, we may see that there are very small structure like thread coming out of it. Those threads are known as fibers. If in this image you may see that these all are fibers. If these are fibers, then what is yarn? Yarn is also like fiber, but yarn is made up of more fibers, several fibers. They are interlocked together, they are twisted together, and a yarn is made. And yarn is useful for textiles, knitting, crocheting, embroidery, etc. What is fabrics now? Fabric is a cloth or material produced by weaving together cotton, nylon, wool, silk, or other threads. When we weave together threads or yarns of cotton, nylon, and other materials, we may get a material or cloth, and that cloth is known as fabric. Fabrics are used for making things such as clothes, curtains, and sheets. The clothes which we are wearing, the bed sheets, the pillow covers, the curtains, they all are made up of fabrics. Now you may wonder what is the difference between a fiber, a yarn, and a fabric. So this picture may clear up your doubt to some extent. If you see the fiber, the first picture, there are these small structures coming out of a thread. This is white portion is a thread, and these are small structures coming out. So this very tiny thread, that is fiber. This whole thread is a yarn, which is shown in this picture. The person is holding a yarn, and these yarns are arranged together in such a way that a fabric is made. This is the result of arranged yarns. So the fibers are twisted together to make a yarn, and the yarns are arranged together to make a fabric. Now, where do fibers come from? The fibers, they come from two main things. They are natural source and artificial or man-made sources. There are two main sources of fiber. First of all is natural, that is, it comes from the nature. And the second is artificial or the man-made, which the human beings make. The fibers of some fabrics such as cotton, jute, wool, silk, they all come from plants and animals, and so they are known as natural fibers. Cotton and jute, for example, they come from plant, whereas wool and silk, they come from animal. They are obtained from animal. Wool is obtained from sheep or goat, and silk is obtained from cocoon of silkworm. Now, before hundreds of years, what happened that we used only natural fibers as fabrics. We only make fabrics out of natural fibers. But after that, with the advancement of technology, what happened? We made some new fibers which are known as man-made or synthetic fibers. So after making these fibers, we also made materials or fabrics from these synthetic fibers. Now what are synthetic fibers? The fibers are also made from chemical substance which are not obtained from the natural resources. So the fibers which are not made from natural resources but are made from chemicals, they are known as synthetic fibers and they are made in industries. For example, nylon, polyester, polyacrylic, etc. Now we will study about different fibers. First of all, cotton fibers. So have you ever lit a lamp during Diwali, an oil lamp? If you have, you may have used a cotton bud to make sure that the oil is consumed and the lamp lights. So why does we use that? Because cotton is very useful for lighting and absorbing oil. Also, how do we use cotton? We also use cotton to fill up the mattress and pillows so that we can feel the softness and sponginess. Now, where do the cotton come from? The cotton comes from plants and there are cotton fields present throughout the world from which cotton can be obtained. Cotton is usually grown in black soil and warm climate, and the states which are very famous for the cotton growth are the Gujarat, Maharashtra, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Haryana and Punjab. In this picture you will see this is a cotton plant. So how do we obtain cotton from the cotton plant? There are cotton balls, B-O-L-L-S. Cotton balls means the fruit. The cotton fruit, it bursts open when it is mature or ripe. And when it bursts open, the cotton balls are either picked manually with hand or with the harvester. Then the cotton fiber is separated from the seeds in it. And how is it separated? It is separated by combing them. And the process of separating cotton seeds and cotton fiber is called ginning. Many years before, the cotton was separated, the cotton fiber was separated from the cotton seeds with the help of comb. That is in the second picture here it is shown, the man, he is separating by combing them. But nowadays there is a machine which separates the cotton balls. The cotton fiber and cotton seeds are separated from each other. Now we will talk about jute fiber. So jute fiber, it is obtained from the stem of the jute plants. As you can see, the jute plant in this picture, they are very tall plants. So the stem of the jute plants, from that the jute fiber is extracted. Jute plant is grown in rainy season and the jute plant needs and plain alluvial soil and standing water. And the states where the jute plant grows very firmly, they are West Bengal, Bihar and Assam. The jute is normally harvested when it is at its flowering stage. The stems of the harvested plants are then bundled and immersed in the water. They are then entered into the water for a few days so that the jute plants, the stem of the jute plants, they start rotting in the water. And when they are rotted, then they are separated from the stem. The fiber is then separated from the stem of the jute plant. As you can see in the picture, the first picture is the jute plant. The second picture, the people are immersing the stems into the water. In the third plant, they are removing the stems from the water after they have been rot. And in the fourth, you can see that the jute stems, they are so soft, so they are again hanged to dry in the sun and then they are used as fibers. You can see the products made up of jute fibers, that is the sack we use and the jute bags that we use. Have you ever seen a yarn? We always see a yarn wrapped onto the bundle. That is, if you see a yarn spinned together, then the process of making yarn is known as spinning. In this process, fibers from a mass of cotton wool are drawn out and twisted. a cotton wool. When you can make also prepare a cotton yarn at your home by twisting the cotton buds very thinly with the other hand while holding the cotton bud in one hand. By twisting it together, you may interlock the fibers and you will prepare a yarn out of it. Now, this process of making yarn from fibers is known as spinning. We can do the spinning process with help of machines like chakra and takli. These machines or the devices you can use to make a yarn out of the fabrics on a smaller scale. If you see this image of chakra, the first image is of chakra, and this chakra you may have seen with the photograph of Mahatma Gandhi. Why? Because at the time of independence he gave importance to the Indian clothes and not to the British products. The second photo here is takli. And if we want to make yarn on a larger scale, then we can use machines which are operated with the help of power. Now, yarn to fabric. So, we know that when we convert the fiber to yarn, the process is known as spinning. Now, we can convert the yarn into fabric with the help of two processes. They are weaving and knitting. As you can see in the picture, the first picture is of yarn and the second picture it is converted into fabric. So how is it done? It is done with the help of two processes, that is weaving or knitting. In the process of weaving, we can use hand looms or power operated looms. These looms, they use two sets of yarns and they arrange the yarns in such a way that a fabric is made. The process of arranging two sets of yarns together perpendicular to each other to make fabric is called weaving. Weaving of fabric is done on looms, which I said earlier. There are either hand operated looms, which is shown in the first picture, or power operated looms, which is shown in the second picture. What is knitting then? Knitting is a process also used to make fabric, but instead of two sets of yarns which were used in weaving, we only use a single yarn and we knit it, we interlock it each other so that the fabric is made. And knitting is also done by hand. As shown in the first picture, we can also knit the single yarn together. Also, we can use the help of machines. Now, have you ever wondered that what the people in the old times they used to wear when the materials or the fibers were not introduced? They used to wear clothes made up of leaves, long leaves, banana leaves you can say, or animal skin and their furs. They used to make materials with it. They used to make clothes with it and they used to wear that. After the people started agriculturing, the communities they started weaving together the jute materials to make a basket, or they started weaving together the grass so that they can form a basket or a mat. And also the skin of animals, the hair of the animals, they were twisted together to make yarn out of it, and then slowly and steadily they made cotton yarn, and then they made the wool yarn or yarn from the animal sources. Also in Egypt, the people used to grow cotton and flax near the river Nile so that they can later on make a yarn out of it. For those days, there was not stitching option. They did not know that. So what did the people do? The people simply draped the fabrics around different parts of their bodies. They did not stitch it properly like we have our sleeves or waist, then the pants. No, they did not stitch like that, but they simply dabbed it around their body parts. Then as steady, there was the introduction of needle. Needle was invented, sewing needle, and then people started stitching clothes. And through the variations and inventions, then came the machines for stitching. And today also, if you see in India, there are so many cloth materials which are not stitched, but they are only draped. For example, sari, dhoti, lungi, then turban we wear at our head. So these all things, they are still not stitched, but they can be only draped around or wrapped around our body parts. Just as we studied in the first and second chapter that there are so many varieties of food all over the country, similar to that, we also have so many varieties of materials or fabrics and clothing items. So by this, we complete our third chapter. Thank you all for listening.